Hey, welcome into Theo's Coffee Break Podcast. How are we doing today? Well, I hope we're doing good because today we're going to be talking about truth. That's right. Today's topic is going to be about my perspective on the truth, the value in telling the truth, and also becoming more aware of what happens when we don't tell the truth. And we're going beyond the usual, goody two shoes approach. We're gonna get brutal. We're gonna get brutal. We're going to get real. But most importantly, we're going to be bringing things back down to earth, getting more grounded, and understanding that we all have a choice in the matter, right? And with truth, there should be clarity. And clarity is a double-edged sword, right? So there's a value, or there's a benefit, and there's a consequence. So I don't want to keep you too long here on the video because I also want to keep this short and sweet, right? I don't want to preach. I want to just kind of remind everyone gently reminding people that the importance behind telling the truth is really about you and how you want to be perceived by your peers, be perceived by your family, and by the world around us, right? And this is to help you win, right? This isn't me trying to be like, oh yeah, Theo's sitting here preaching and he's on his soapbox and all that. No. I want everybody to win, right? I want everybody to live a fulfilling life. But in order to be fulfilled, we not only need to tell the truth, we need to live in the truth, and we need to be honest with ourselves first before we get honest with anyone else around us. So I encourage you to please join us for today's conversation, for today's coffee break. And like I said, I got my notes here. We're going to keep it short and simple, but most importantly, we're going to bring things back to the truth. All right, I'll see you there. And the title for this episode is probably going to have some truth in the title. Okay, I know. All right, I'll see you over there. Talk to you soon. Bye. All right, turning the light off, turning my phone off. I hope you like my dad joke there. Man, yeah. All right. And I probably should have said this too. This is going to be a fun conversation, all right? So we're not going to be all, harping on each other and all that stuff. I want to keep it fun as well. So, let's just jump right into it. The benefits versus the convenience, right? The benefits and the consequence of telling the truth and how it's a double-edged sword. To be honest, wait, hold on, my audio level. Hello? Oops. Okay, for some reason my sound went out in my headphones, so that's fine. We'll keep going. I see that it's still picking up here, so we're not going to worry about it. So yeah, this might be falling on some deaf ears. That might be the big thing here, is that this is going to be falling on some deaf ears, but that's okay. This is for those who really want to... I'm taking my headphones off. This is for those who want to get to the next level in life, right? To up their game. Because what is it that we want in life? We want love. We want wealth. We want the guy or the girl. We want the house. We want the perfect family. We want the amazing career. We want the fulfillment, right? That is the benefit in telling the truth, okay? And that is the benefit in living in your truth, because you're living an honest life, right? So why is it so hard to tell the truth then? Why is it so hard to be in your truth? Well, I really think it does come down to convenience. Who are you serving, right? Who are you serving first? And if you're serving those around you before yourself, That's where the convenience factor plays in, because you are under the illusion that you have way more to lose than reality, than what reality is telling you. I think that if you are lying out of convenience or withholding the truth out of convenience, you have way more to lose. And I might be getting ahead of myself here, but it's reputation. It's credibility. Suddenly, the people in your life that you've had in your life for all this time are beginning to wonder, well, what else were you being dishonest about? What else are you keeping from me? What are you doing behind closed doors that you don't want anyone to know about? And as curious people, we always want to know what's the skeletons in the closet, right? There's something beneath the surface. And if you are too busy trying to create a web or an illusion, then absolutely do you have something beneath the surface. And whether or not it's anyone's business, it's still there. Okay? So that's benefits versus convenience. The benefit here is if you're being transparent within reason, right? We're not oversharing. I'm not telling you, this is what I'm not telling you to do. Do not go out there and spill your guts. Okay, we all see that person on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok that is just oversharing. And it's like, okay, you could have probably kept that in your journal. You didn't need to post about it. I'm not telling you to spill your guts. I'm telling you to think about who are you benefiting here. And tying it back to what I said at the beginning, be honest with yourself first. You got to know, who are you serving? Who are you protecting? What are you enabling? What are you growing? What are you not growing? Like it's a lot of these questions. So, yeah, which is my second point, withholding the truth. Be discerning and ask your question, who are you serving? Okay? So this comes down to, if there is an illusion that has been painted or a web that has been created, the paranoia sets in. So I'm kind of paraphrasing this next part, but Judge Judy, I love her. I used to watch Judge Judy with my uncle and my grandparents growing up, and I got a kick out of her. And also I really admired her because she was not only confident, she clocked it, right? She always clocked them down to the boots. And it's like, how does somebody have confidence like that? How does somebody, just not only be assertive, but confident? And you can tell that she's coming from a good place. There was an episode of her where she got it wrong. And, that was a big episode. Ooh, Judge Judy got it wrong. And this is what she did. She owned up to it. And I don't know if it was the interview with Amy Poehler, Good Talk with Amy. It's her new podcast. Highly recommend it. It's so good. It's so good. Or if it was in that episode, but she said essentially, for anyone that tells the truth, they don't need to remember a lot. Okay. But in moments like that, you're able to go someplace and you can take ownership and accountability without feeling like you lost. Because it's not a competition. Okay? This is where we can be discerning about the rivals, the unwanted and the unasked for rivals in our life. Honest people are not in competition with other people because they don't need to be. That's not the point. This isn't about winning or losing. This is about clarity. This is about understanding. And this is about everybody getting on the same page. Okay? And so I have noticed from my experience in banking, being a personal banker at Fifth Third Bank, former banker now, I could tell who was telling the truth and who wasn't. And it wasn't that hard. Okay? It was not that hard. I gotta be honest. And after so much time, you begin to wonder, why? Why would you not want to be honest? You know, it saves everyone a lot of trouble. There's no conspiracy in the truth. That's the other thing too. There's no need for conspiracy theories, because what's the need? Why do we need them? We don't. You throw them out. You get rid of it. And so that's why living by example is so important. So I'm going to tie it right back to something I said at the beginning. Be honest with yourself first. And that's hard. It's really difficult because coming off of the episode before this one, acceptance is not a beautiful thing, okay? I really don't think acceptance is a beautiful thing, because this is when you're coming to terms with the demons. The things that you've been hiding, the skeletons in the closet, the stuff that you, confirmation burp, the stuff that you haven't been able to address in full because of whatever reasons, insecurity, fear, confusion. You know, there's a lot to lose when you've been living a lie. And it's hard to let go of those things because you know that your life is about to change in a very drastic way when you start getting real with yourself. And after that, there is the inevitable where you got to get real with everyone else around you or the world around you, whether it's your peers, your colleagues, your family, your friends, doesn't matter. And that's when accountability and ownership come in. And I know I'm probably losing people here because this is something that none of us want to face. And coming from someone who is going through this right now, God, is it hard. So I have to be honest, I've been crying a lot. But for once I can say the tears are coming from a place of, this can actually be resolved now. I can really move on now. I don't need to hold on to this anymore. So the next point is relevancy. You lose it with lying. You will no longer be relevant. Okay? No one can trust you. You've just discredited yourself. You've created distrust among those who trusted you. And what was relevant is now in question. Whether it's been found out to be a lie, or again, it goes back to the question, what else are you withholding? What else are you lying about? So this is why I don't ever advise people to fake it till you make it. And this is coming from somebody who used to do that. Okay, I used to be the person that said you got to fake it till you make it. Put a smile on your face and just go for it. But then I realized that maybe... Oop, there's a phone call. I gotta... Hold on. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, fake it till you make it. I don't recommend it. Okay, so what I recommend instead is that if living in your truth makes you cringe, be cringe. Okay? Because as you continue to pursue something in an honest manner, in a truthful manner, you are creating the building blocks of quality and success. And this is something that can never be taken from you. Okay? You won't ever lose this. In fact, I found that a lot of people get more invested in your journey when they see all the mistakes you made before. And not only did you make those mistakes, but you learned from them. And not only did you learn from them, you overcame them. Okay? And they see your growth. So this is how somebody knows after so much time or X amount of time, you're not faking it. You're the real deal. And that is somebody worth investing in, or that is somebody I want to collaborate with. Okay? Now, again, discernment is a huge thing that comes into play, because I'm not telling you to go post cringy things on purpose. Okay? There has to be a why. There has to be a purpose. Okay? So lately, for I don't know how many months, I've been releasing a new song every Friday. And are they perfect? No. These are things that I've worked on in the past. And I am going through my vault, and these are also important pieces of work that I have done. Okay? And this is how, and these pieces of work that I'm releasing now are how I got my foot in the door before. All right? This is how I got my opportunities. This is how I got my chances. And this is how I was able to not only know that I'm on the right path, but also it showed other people that I'm the real deal. I have talent. And you would be surprised that, especially people in the entertainment industry, they're not looking for perfect. They're looking for real. They want to know if you have what it takes to be somebody. So to get your foot in the door and to get that opportunity, they're not looking for perfect. They're looking for somebody who wants it. And not only do you want it, but you have the talent, you have the vision, and you are able to grow. You're able to learn. You're able to become better. And I'm going to still continue to release music every Friday. I'm still going to continue releasing new episodes every Monday. Are they going to be perfect? Absolutely not. But it's me. This is real. This is me. And this is exactly who I am supposed to be and who I've always meant to be. But now I'm not shying away from the spotlight. Now I'm not hiding anymore. Okay? Because I think that's been a big question here about who I am and why am I doing this? Why am I doing what I'm doing? I don't want to hide anymore. Okay? I know that my voice and my presence and my very existence is intimidating and threatening to a lot of people because of the truth that I could tell. But I'm not stupid. I'm not here to put people on blast. Okay? I'm here to serve others. And I'm here to help other people learn from the mistakes that I have made in the past. And so, how I'm deciding to move forward now is I'm asking myself these 3 questions. Again, the big question here: who are you serving in telling your truth? So, in knowing who are you serving, you have to know your why. Why are you telling the truth? Why are you living an honest life? And I hope your reasons are fulfillment. Okay? Because again, another thing I've noticed with honest people who are living their truth, they're not experiencing imposter syndrome. That's right. That's another benefit of living an honest life. You're no longer feeling like an imposter in your own. And with these, you get more focused and understanding on what your purpose is. Okay? And I'm going to tell you right now, your purpose can change. That's right. Your purpose can change. There was, throughout my life, I've wondered, why have I lived the life that I've lived? Okay? Farmer, waiter, banker, singer, in-home caregiver. songwriter, now podcaster. Like and that's just like a little short summary, but I've kind of been everywhere and done a little bit of everything. And now I'm understanding that the reason why my life has happened the way it has is because I am meant to serve people. I am meant to help people. And it is by my truth that I'm helping bring clarity and understanding to things that we don't want to talk about. And I think the reason why we don't want to talk about these things is coming from my own experiences. It hurts a lot. Because then this is when you're looking yourself in the mirror and you're like, what have I done? Can I even come back from this? Will I even be able to rebuild? What have I done? And when you hit that kind of low, you're not wrong to think that there is a very real possibility it's about to get worse. Because the fact of the matter is, from my own experiences, it absolutely does. Usually, that's your brain giving you a heads up, being like, hey, things are about to get a whole lot worse. And this is meant to help you brace yourself for impact, for the other shoe to drop. So that when it happens, you know why it's happening. So how do you get out of that? Well, you gotta pick something. Like when I was doing gymnastics and learning how to do backflips or back handsprings, you gotta pick a spot on the wall and focus on that wall. You know, just keep your eyes on that and then you just go. You just do it. Okay? And so, like, at those points, there's no way but through. You can't get around it. You can't go above it. You can't go below it. You got to go right through it. And you cannot rush through it. Okay? You have to trust the process. Because obviously there is something here for you to learn. There are lessons for you to learn. And these are things that will not be resolved overnight. This could take years. Years of trying to learn that lesson. And making amends. And allowing healing to do its thing. Which this has been proven too in my life. Time does heal all wounds. But you have to be willing to put in the work. You have to be willing to look yourself in the mirror and say, I may be the problem, but I am also the solution. And I can figure this out. I can move through this. And it's not going to be easy, but it's going to lead me to that fulfilling life that I'm looking for. That fulfilling career, that fulfilling partner or relationship. But it's got to start with you. So some of the best advice I got while working at Fifth Third Bank from the head of HR at that time was that you are the driver sitting in the driver's seat of your career. And at any point, you can decide to turn the car around. You could also decide to pull off the side of the road and rethink things. You could trade that car in. You could trade that car in and you can get a new car. At the end of the day, you are the one in control of your life. And you are the one that determines the destination. And if the destination that you're choosing does not look like the way you want to go, pick a different destination. And if you can't find a destination, then you need to pick a rest stop. And if you can't find a rest stop, then you got to go to the gas station. Like you are in control, okay? And there will be times that you'll have backseat drivers. There'll be at times you'll have passenger princesses. There'll be times you have friends in the car. There will be times that maybe you're the Uber and you're driving people from place to place. But at the end of the day, you are still the driver, sitting in the driver's seat of your life. And that's a truth that everybody can hold capacity for. There's a lot of feelings here. There's a lot of emotions. There's a lot to work through. So go at your own pace. No one is telling you the timeline for your life. You can decide that. So if you got to go slow, go slow. If you want to go fast, go fast. But remember that it's you. This is your life. Your decisions, your choices, your actions are in your hand. Okay? So keep this in mind. Not all things need a solution. That's another thing too. There are some problems that you're just not, they don't need a solution. Maybe they need to work themselves out. Or maybe they do need a solution. Okay? That's up to you. But hold this truth with me today. Peace isn't handed to you, it's built by choices. So build your peace in truth and remember, you can't fix someone who enjoys being broken. So thank you so much for sitting with me today for today's coffee break. Share your thoughts to theoscoffeebreakpodcast@gmail.com, and I encourage you to also share this podcast with anyone who you think would benefit from hearing a little truth that is grounded from a place of peace. I do need to start mentioning this, how you can help me for free. Rate my podcast on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, leave your reviews. All ratings and all reviews are welcome. Okay? So I'm open to it all. And also know this is that it does get better. I have to keep telling myself that right now. It does get better and it's going to get better. It doesn't feel like it right now, but it will. Because at the end of the day, what goes around comes around. And as long as you are speaking your truth, living your truth, and thinking about who are you serving, and if it's coming from a place of nurturing, you just can't go wrong. All right. So until the next episode, take care, be kind, and remember, you are always welcome at my coffee table, no matter how you identify, no matter who you are. You are always welcome here at Theo's Coffee Break Podcast. All right, I'll see you in the next episode.